We SRCC-Wings of Fire welcome you all for the session on the topic Top 10 Skills Required for Finance, Auditing and Consulting Roles, to be conducted by Ms. Rachana Khare Shrivastava. She is a freelancer in professional counseling and training and is qualified chartered accountant. She has recently been recognized as one of the 51 most successful women entrepreneurs of the year. We are grateful to have you with us today, ma'am. Throughout the session, we would like you all to keep your microphones on mute so that the flow of the session is not disturbed. We will have a question and answer round in the end, in which your queries can be addressed. The attendees can ask the questions through the chat box. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Tanya. Thanks a lot for this introduction. And I thank SRCC, Wings of Fire, for this invite. So Tanya and Prince have been playing a role here. They have been critical here in all this coordination bit. So thank you to both of you. Well coordinated. And I feel wonderful to be here today with you all. And I'm immensely happy to interact with the leaders, with future entrepreneurs, future CFOs, CEOs, CTOs. You all are the future of the profession. So it's something that I always cherish doing, interacting with students. And we all have something in common. We all have something in common, that is maybe the subjects or our interests, the domain, aspirations. I would say if not same, then at least we have some similarities. There is something in similar, right? So many of you must be aspiring chartered accountants. Many of you must be aspiring company secretaries, CWAs. Maybe you're doing cost accountancy and any other profession if you're pursuing. Tell me, you all can keep pondering, since the host has asked you to keep your microphones muted. So I would love to interact with you all. We can keep this session more interactive and you all may unmute. I would love the participation in case that is possible if the hosts do not have a problem here. Tell me, how many times have you experienced anxiety thinking about the future? So you all are aspiring chartered accountants. Perhaps you have enrolled for the intermediate exams, or now your final exams are due. Similar applies to company secretaries and to cost accountancy students as well. So how many times have you really felt anxious thinking about the future? How many times you found it challenging to talk about what are your goals and what are your visions? What do you aspire to do? If you have faced any interviews, did you experience loss of words ever? Did this happen to you? That while interacting with somebody who was in an authoritative position, or if there was a status difference, you found it really hard or difficult, you found it challenging to interact with them.
Hello, good morning everyone. Good afternoon.
That you are no exception. If you have experienced challenges, if you have faced difficulties, if you have experienced anxiety during the interactions, you are no exception. This happens to all of us. This is inevitable part of your professional growth. That during when you've enrolled for the exams, when you're finding it, when you're facing so many challenges, stress and anxiety are part of your professional growth. So let's talk next. Let me quickly share my screen. So see this picture. Your career success. You can see at the bottom your technical strengths and your hard work. So most of the time what happens is I have candidates claiming, I have so many students who approach me saying that, ma'am, we have strong technical abilities, technical strengths are high, and we are very hardworking. Still, we are finding it difficult to succeed. Perhaps if there are semi-qualified candidates as well, those who are at work, and they are struggling with career growth and success. Even after you have qualified your examinations and you are a full-fledged professionals, I counsel a lot of professionals at mid-senior level as well, junior mid-level as well. So there also, career success is more dependent on other skills, say soft skills and your transferable skills, along with your tech competencies as well as your hard work. So hard work and tech competencies are a little part of your overall growth. What your overall growth and your success depends on is more is more related to your transferable skills, your competencies that are dominant here are your soft skills and your communication, your articulation abilities. So see this picture and then we can discuss a little more. All this space, all this now includes unlimited. Okay, all right. These little hiccups in between, I think that is part of your this virtual interactions, kind of screen sharing, videos, etc. So let's come back to the screen now. If you see this picture, technical strengths and hard work is one part. That is the base on which your entire success would be based, your career success would be based, with support of your transferable skills and your soft skills. To be able, your ability to showcase your skill set, your ability to get along with people well, your interpersonal skills, your ability to articulate your ideas well, to convey your ideas well. This is critical. Your transferable skills include all your personal attributes, all your hard and soft skills. For example, your technology friendliness, your computer proficiencies, any language proficiency that you have, your communication abilities, knowledge of any particular ERP. So for example, when we said computer proficiency or technology friendliness, any knowledge of any ERP or any other proficiency that you have. In case you have anything in specific here, say adaptability, you adapt fairly quickly with the surroundings. You can get along with people very well. You have strong conviction abilities. So all this will be your transferable skills, which are part of your personality, which are part of your personal attributes. They go with you irrespective of the job. Regardless of the job you are doing, these things are part of these skills are part of your personality. And these abilities are more responsible for your career growth and success. So let me quickly give you a small story. See this picture, see this graph. This is based on researches and statistics, a lot of statistics that I keep collecting. And this picture is based on those statistics, those researchers, which says only 15% of your workplace or career success comes from your hard skills. Hard skills is your proficiency, your technical qualification, etc., your certifications, your CA course, or maybe you're becoming a company secretary certificate, or maybe if you're a cost accountant, any other qualification or degree if you have. That is your hard skill. That is your technical competence, technical skills. So there's only 15% of your career success comes from your hard skills, whereas 85% comes from your ability to get along with people well. That is your interpersonal abilities, your interpersonal skills, your communication abilities. So skills versus qualification are both. Always keep in mind you have to focus on both. Let me just quickly give you a story. We had a very dear friend, almost, it's been 20 years that I've been in the industry. I'm a November 2002 qualified chartered accountant. So I received my results in Jan 2003. And since then, I've been working, I've been employed with several corporates in the initial years of my career. And then for almost 15 years plus now, I've been working extensively with students and professionals to help them develop their communication skills, their soft skills, as well as I've been assisting them with professional grooming. Reinforcing professional grooming is a recent initiative for which I was recognized as one of the top 51 women entrepreneurs in India, as Tanya just told you. So thanks, Tanya, for mentioning this. Other than this, I've continued to be in practice. So the practice spans now for more than 18 years. I'm a partner with MRC, that is an eminent firm of the Chhattisgarh state of India. So I think why I'm sharing all this with you, with this span, I think I'll be able to give you some inputs. I can share some stories, some inputs with you that will surely be beneficial to you all over here. So we had a friend, we were a group of friends, and strong bonding, because those days we were lesser dependent on these smartphones, etc. We had lesser dependency on the smartphones, on internet, on web, and the real relationships, the real human touch and relationships were more important. They were the prominent feature of any classroom studies or any group studies, etc. So we are still in touch. Many of us, we work together. So in our classes, there was this one friend with who I used to get complexed as, and when he approached to talk, or whenever he wanted to share something with us. During my study leaves, during the period I was preparing for exams, I always hesitated interacting with him. He was a studious one. He had ranks all through. And he preferred to study and study a lot. Whenever he would suggest, he would talk something, he would ask, how many revisions have you done? I've done 3 revisions, 4 revisions. I've been studying these books. You can also, take the names and get started practicing. So it was very difficult for me to cope with that pressure. Whenever he said so, I thought I am a fool. Perhaps I would never be able to clear exams. Look at his level of preparation and look at my level of preparation. And so I was it was difficult for me. It was very challenging to cope with that kind of a pressure. So what happened next was we all were actually terrified. Whenever he suggested some books and his study methods, clocking number of hours, etc., some of us were really terrified. So in fact, I hesitated. I was reluctant to speak to him, especially when I was on study leave and preparing for exams. So thankfully, God's grace that I have also secured all India ranks all through at all the levels of my CA examinations. But his ranks were like within first 10, first 15 ranks. He always was able to secure such ranks. And he managed during CA finals, he managed his articleship as well. Last 6 months, he was only studying. He did some bit, I don't know how, because his father was a businessman, or perhaps they had some connections. So he managed his articleship for 6 months. He did not go to the office. While for others, for some more of the group members, it was difficult to sit at home and study all day. We were more focused on developing relationships, working with our clients, and perhaps understanding the processes, because we knew that these things may be helpful to us when we land at a job, or maybe when we are able to secure some kind of employment. So that was the thought process. Though perhaps it becomes difficult when you see someone else performing so well and paying so much of heed to only securing marks. That gives you a thought that, okay, the decisions that you are taking or you are doing, whether that is correct or not. So I think we all had a difficult time. And then all of us participated together at Mumbai campus placements. So, how it became different, then how things became different was, I'll give you the clear picture over there. He was selected, the group discussions happened, and then there were shortlistings of the resumes, etc. Most of us were shortlisted. The resumes were shortlisted because prima facie it was all dependent on the marks, on your exemptions, your papers, etc. The paper evaluation, mostly the marks, etc. for the freshers. So he was shortlisted. But post interviews, I had 3 offers in hand. Most of my friends, they had 2 offers at least in hand. They were selected, they were shortlisted, and the interview process went well. He wasn't selected in any of the interviews. There was a limit on the shortlistings that if you were selected, I think campus interviews were new those times. November, I'm talking about January 2003. So you could only appear for 3 to 4 interviews, 3 to companies, because companies, there were lesser number of companies participating those days in the campus placements. So 3 to 4 was the limit of the companies with whom you can participate in the campus placements. So he wasn't selected anywhere after the interviews. We realized that he was the one who was left out, and all of us had offers in hand. So why I'm sharing this story with you now, this is something to ponder. We were selected, but he was left out. He had to struggle. He waited 1 year. He joined another firm. He had to join a firm in town. I still remember. I'm not going to reveal the names here. He worked with a firm for another 1 year. And then after more few months, say 12 to 13 months, he was able to secure a good job. He had to really work hard on his other skills, his articulation abilities. I've personally worked with him. So there are several other skills in addition to your technical abilities that are responsible to secure you a good employment or maybe a good position. And even if you are on your entrepreneurial journey, if you are planning for a practice, first thing that you would require would be effective communication and articulation abilities. Any idea that you have in mind, whether you want to start your practice, an entrepreneurial journey, you are planning for a venture, or maybe you are keen for an employment as an investment banker, or maybe as a consultant, you want to become an accountant, or any other department, tax, advisory, or you want to become an auditor, you want to join an audit firm, any place for that matter. Group discussions, personal interviews, your interactions with clients, with customers. Finance is somewhere, finance departments are the fulcrum of any business. You, as a chartered accountant or a company secretary or a cost accountant, would be somewhere sitting at the fulcrum where you would be impacting the entire business. So you will have to liaison with the departments, you will have to deal with people, you will be making an impact. So you can't ignore, you can't do without the communication and articulation ability. So I was saying, as finance professionals, as chartered accountants, we are not limited to working in the stereotype domains of audit or of being tax professionals only or being auditors only, right? Accountants only. Now, these days, the industry is absorbing chartered accountants very well. We are, if you have the right skill sets, you can work in any of the domains that you desire to work. So, for example, these days we can see the presence of CAs and CAs getting absorbed very well as FP&A professionals. Mergers and acquisitions is one domain. Transfer pricing is another one. You can do very well as insolvency professionals. Financial modeling. You can target tax. Tax में अगर आप देखो, tax, if you talk about tax, there's so many multiple domains there. Tax, direct tax, indirect taxation. Now we have GST as well. Under indirect taxation also we have several subdomains. More than that, if you consider audit is now divided into so many parts. We have assurance, we have so many types of varieties of audit as well. So all these things, if you see the subdomains in the specialization has enhanced. It is now much advanced as compared to few decades ago. So as an advisor, as a consultant, and as an auditor, perhaps your role is more diversified. Your role includes much more than the technical skill set. Somebody who's who's trying for an investment banker's job, somebody who's trying to get into an investment banking firm. If you have questions, what are the skills that will be helpful to us? So now those skill sets may include much more than only your technical abilities. You will be involved with so many mergers and acquisitions. You perhaps should be aware of the market factors as well. All the IPOs, how the capital formation happens. So all these skills, if you see here, your analytical abilities, your negotiation capabilities, how influential are you, your convincing power with the client, how well are you able to convince and explain to the client about this whole thing, whatever is being discussed there. About the advisory part, the consultant's role, advisory is much more, the role of an advisor is much more than only giving you the solution to a problem. In fact, only identifying the problem, right? So as an auditor, we used to be watchdog, and the bloodhound concept is already now, it's an old concept. Now the role of an auditor is much advanced. It has enhanced over the period. So as a consultant, your approach should be problem solving, providing solutions, framing the policies, compliance and regulatory. Right? So what will help you here is your credibility. You need to build credibility over a period of time. Maintaining confidentiality, your coherent, your logical thinking abilities, your conversational skills. How well are you able to talk? How well are you able to maintain that rapport with the clients? Your sensitivity, emotional balance, emotional intelligence. That is much required. Emotional intelligence is these days one important quality of any leader or of any manager. If you want to become an effective manager, you must be emotionally intelligent. Honesty, our whole, the entire profession is based on the fulcrum of ethics and integrity. So we must maintain that as well. Expertise, your technical expertise, without which all these skills will have no value. Right? So all these things, all these skill sets will together contribute to your professional success. Look at the next slide. Start work as you enroll for the course. This can't happen overnight, that suddenly you think that you will find a mentor, or maybe you can work overnight and you can develop all these skills, that I become more adaptable, I've learned to communicate well, and then I am a technical expert already, so now nobody can stop me to succeed professionally or to grow professionally. Well, you have to start work as you enroll for a professional course. Now, high time, since now you are a professional student, you're looking forward to clear your exams, you are ready to step into the job market in the industry. Introspect. See this diagram, see this picture. Self-management, self-awareness, these four areas. There are, I read Daniel Goleman a lot, and he has given his work is phenomenal on EI. So there are around 19 competencies in the four areas, namely self-management, self-awareness. Self-awareness is most critical. Your self-management, your relationship management, and situational awareness as well. Social awareness, so relationship management, relationship building, self-management, and self-awareness. These are the four pillars on which your entire EI is based. Emotionally intelligent leader will work effectively under these four areas, right? Will have these four areas. Under these areas, he will be an advanced person. In fact, he would have greater qualities under these areas. Responsible decision making is again part of being self-aware and self-management. So here you can see recognizing one's own emotions and accepting the failures, as well as realizing your own strengths and your challenges. This all comes under self-awareness. If you are aware of the self, you can work much better. In order to grow, in order to learn, you can work much better. So realization of the self is most crucial. It is the critical aspect for your professional growth. Self-management is more related to thinking before acting. Think before you act. Managing emotions well, right? So, and managing your time management part. How to work effectively to achieve one's goals. Responsible decision making, your accountability part. Take accountability of whatever actions you are taking, whatever actions you're doing, right? Making ethical decisions, making choices, constructive choices, right? In personal behavior, social behavior, how you are able to conduct yourselves well. Socially, these days, virtual platforms is conduct over the social media platforms, etc., is a reality. So how we should conduct ourselves well, so that our professional image is strengthened over these social media platforms. So all these things are responsible decision making and responsible social behavior you have to demonstrate. Relationship skills is important in any domain, any area. Where you're working with clients, you're working with other professionals, you're working with your peers, your teammates, senior management, others. So everywhere relationship building, a great relationship manager will be able to grow much faster as compared to others. So you can see here forming positive relationships, working in teams, dealing effectively with people, resolving the conflicts. All this comes under relationship management skills. Social awareness, so being aware about others also. If empathy, social awareness is all about empathy. If you can understand others' point of view, if you can appreciate others, all these things come under social awareness. You're aware about the situation. You consider others and their point of view as well. So you need to start introspecting that what are some of the areas where I need to improve. Introspection will give you a clear direction. Take time out to introspect, to understand, to do a SWOT analysis of maybe that what are the challenging areas for you. What are some of the skills that you need to develop? What are some of the areas? What are some of the fears that you need to overcome? Work on self-development. Working on self-development is one of the best investment of your time and money. And it is sure to bear fruits, and it will remain with you always. Your entire professional career will be impacted by some investment into self-development. So self-development can be in any area. It can be a professional, personal space for you. Since we are focused here on professional growth, we're talking about the journey of consultants, advisors, chartered accountants, other finance professionals. Self-development is a must. Practice is the key. Practice and perseverance is the key. There is no skill. See, if you can qualify your CA exams, I don't think there is anything else, exists that you can't do. Anything else, overcoming fear of a conversation with somebody, or maybe developing a language, getting a good grip over any skill set, learning any other, say gaining some proficiency over any kind of technology is not going to be difficult. Certainly it will be a matter of some practice and perseverance. With practice, anything is doable. Everything is doable, in fact. So you need to focus on these areas as well. Now, let's quickly come to the survival kitty. This is something which I love to talk about. Survival kitty in the industry. So as the professionals, they step in, more or less the confidence levels are shaken. What happens is, when the realities are totally different. the situation when you were acquiring your academic qualifications, when you were studying, and now life after post-qualification, when you are ready to be absorbed into the industry and the responses, and now the recession. Post-COVID period is all going to be about restoring the broken supply chains, the product lines, right? The resuming part, the economy and the businesses are facing a lot of challenges. Everyone is struggling with the fragility of the future. Perhaps there is no stability. So here, now the requirements of the employers is much advanced, much more than only the technical ability. So your survival kitty is going to be your articulation abilities, your adaptability. How quickly can you get adapted? How quickly can you adapt yourselves working with diverse surroundings, with different types of people, with hybrid task force? We all know gig economy is real now. Gig task force is a reality. All the organizations have to balance the task force now to attain some kind of equilibrium. So flexibility, attitude, positive outlook. For anything, for any difficult situation, you will need to set a positive outlook. You need to draw and you need to look, you need to remain optimistic. You need to look at the positive outcomes on the positive side of it. Your aptitude to learn anything, maybe a technology or maybe anything else, developing friendliness with the situation, with your peers, with the workplace faster. So you have to develop that aptitude as well. You want to change domains. I frequently hear from candidates, ma'am, you want to change domains. I've been working in audit so far, but I realize I have keen interest in direct taxation, so I want to join tax domain. Not difficult at all if you have developed aptitude, if you are working on enhancing your knowledge pool, if you think you are ready to accept and you are ready to learn the new technologies, the new trending ways of business under the tax domain. It's not going to be difficult for you. Your preparedness is more important. What helps to survive in the industry is your preparedness, your willingness to learn, your own aptitude. No one else. No one else's work can pull you through. It's your own preparation. So, ethics and integrity. Ethics and integrity, as I already told you, is the fulcrum, is the very basis of our entire profession, on which the entire profession of child accountancy, or with others as well, other professions as well, finance professional, especially accountancy profession, is based. Strong technical abilities, they form the basics, they form the base. The entire base is technical competency, ethics, integrity, and certainly your hard work. So this is the survival kitty. Technology, being technology friendly, that is going to be an asset, my friends. New technology, the intervention of AI, and all this is real. Now we are able to discuss. I think 10, 20 years ago, could I ever imagine interacting with students over a virtual platform? No, I could not. It was difficult when I was trying to find some work-life balance. I had young children. It was difficult to manage. In fact, we had to go to the nearby offices. Having internet at home was also not really used to work with dongles. And certainly when I was your age, when I was a young student, we had to go to those cyber cafes with 10, 20 rupees per hour charges, where we had to pay 20 rupees to use internet on the computer that was connected to with the LAN and with the internet sitting at a cafe. There we could make the notes, or maybe we could do the entire correspondence that was required to be done for exam purposes or for other purposes with the institute. So things were entirely different. Now every business has some intervention of AI and technology part, perhaps the technology part. So we have to work alongside AI. We have to certainly work alongside AI, because we can't avoid being unfriendly with the technology, and we can say, okay, I can't really adapt well with the technology and I will avoid it. No, you can't do well avoiding it. You can't do without technology these days. It'll be difficult. In fact, the future will be bleak in case you avoid technology. Businesses are going to avoid you. So technology is the future. We have to start embracing it and start working alongside technology. Developing an understanding and comfort. How can we do that? So, well, we can do that by becoming more specific right? By narrowing our domain, by understanding what I need to learn well in order to excel in my competencies, in order to provide an upper edge to what competencies I possess now. So there are domain-specific technologies, not that you need to become a jack and you need to learn it all. At least in your domain, whatever is the best suitable, whatever is the trending, most trending in your domain, the technologies you must be aware of it. It helps enhance the roles. So if you talk about, say, for example, there are so many talks going on that AI is going to be replacing the auditors. Well, the timings are far, far away when AI will have the emotional influences. It could work with emotional influences. So these are the machine learning cannot replace the human factor. Perhaps it will, see, the manual checks, etc. will be minimized. The processes will be more automated. So that will enhance the roles of accountants. And rather, it would also extend to the regulatory and the compliance part. They can do more of the managerial work. They can focus more on the policy formations. And the automation part will help them. It will free them from the manual considerations of doing the daily number crunching jobs, etc. Right? So automation is certainly going to be more helpful in case we have developed the comfort of working with the technology. Increased accountants will have, or maybe the finance professionals will have, increased focus on the regulatory and the compliance with. So it will certainly support value addition and effective collaboration in bringing more value, which otherwise would have been a constraint because of the time. So greater opportunities than before. So in case you can embrace technology, if you are friendly with technology, you can work well, you can develop a comfort, then certainly opportunities for you are going to be much more than ever before. Enhance efficiency for any process, for any professional. If they are friendly with the technology, they understand, they have developed the comfort, they will be able to enhance their efficiencies beyond expectations. So to all your questions where you feel that now with the AI replacing, so AI is not replacing. Perhaps we need to start working alongside AI to be more efficient as professionals, as process owners. Right? Now, here comes the skills that employers are looking for. The 10 skills that employers are looking for in any candidate. So I've been on the other side of the table now for long, been more than a decade now. So I can tell you with confidence that technical abilities are only a little part, the tiny part, only 10% of the entire communication, entire conversation during any professional interaction or say a personal interview will be targeting your technical competence. You would be amazed to hear like some companies like Goldman Sachs and their technical interviews have asked the questions to chartered accountants, qualified chartered accountants, questions as good as what are debentures. So you can understand, you know what, when you are at a fresher level, the expectation of the technical abilities as such is high for you. When you say that you are a chartered accountant, people understand your technical abilities well. This hard work, how much you have slogged to become a chartered accountant since you have already qualified. The standards of the exams are known to one and all. So I don't think there'll be any doubt in anyone's mind, any of the interviewers' mind, any of the panelists' mind to judge or evaluate you too much over your technical capabilities at fresher level. What distinguishes you, what makes you stand out will be the other skills, will be your transferable skills, will be your soft skills. Your positive attitude. Positive attitude is the first thing any employer would notice about you. Your technical competence, certainly there'll be a technical round where you may be evaluated over some of the simple technique. I have never seen a chartered accountant not clearing the technical round. More or less, maybe you are unable to clear the third round or the final round of the interviews. I come across hundreds of messages almost every day. I cleared the first round, I cleared the second round, but so technical competence is something which is which is crucial for your existence in the market, for you to grow in the market alongside other skill sets as well. So some of the skills that you can't do without in the current times as a professional are certainly your technical abilities, but other skills that comes with your certification, right? Technical abilities, so your certification that you're a CA now, you're a CS now. These are the strong evidence of your technical abilities. You have done your articleship, so you already have some 3 years of experience in maybe with one specialization or with multiple specializations if you have worked in a medium size or a small size concern. Your effective communication. Then comes your time management. Are you able to deliver results in time? That is most important. Time is the critical resource, always. Effective communication. You have good convincing abilities. Can you deal with the clients independently? Can you mentor? Can you guide your junior professionals, your young member of your teams? So willingness to learn. So if you are not savvy with some technology, with some part of the processes, are you keen to learn? I, as an employer, as an interviewer, would certainly prefer a candidate who's more coachable, who is willing to learn over somebody who's rigid and who's closed, who doesn't want to learn, who thinks that they know everything, that I'm the jack, I know it all. So I know it all approach doesn't work on the ground. When there are times of when these times, if you consider the contingencies, the prevailing uncertainties, we need people who are willing to learn, who are ready to learn, who are ready to grasp, who can adapt and who can apply. Effective team players. If you are an effective team player, then it is likely that you will excel in your career. Gradually, you will definitely develop good leadership capabilities as well if you are a good team player at the moment. For freshers, it is recommended that you need to work on improving your capabilities to work as a team player. I have so many candidates approaching me during the mentoring sessions or during so many other mock interview sessions that I conduct for professionals when I conduct the corporate training programs. So there are so many who come back to me writing or saying that, ma'am, we find it very can handle individual projects. I'm very comfortable handling a project independently, but when it comes to discussing things, when it comes to communicating with the team members, I find it very difficult. So now these are the things: to conflict resolution, facing others, communicating with others, keeping it very polite, understanding others' point of view. This is going to be inevitable. It's going to be inevitable if you want to grow and shine in your career. Your problem solving skills. For every problem, if you are wanting somebody to give you maybe a panacea or maybe somebody to give you some tip, okay, this is the problem, this maybe you, even if you are approaching your senior, you have to first work on the alternatives yourself. Gather the alternatives, the possible options, and then you can reach out for help. So problem solving skills, your orientation should be to solve a problem. How effectively are you able to target the solutions? This ability will be very, very helpful to you. Resilience. So now let's talk a little about gig economy and the gig task force. So we have multi-generational influences there. Now when we talk about workplaces, we're working with so many people. Every organization, to attain the equilibrium for their supply and demand, they are, it is now these days, it's more difficult to maintain the task force. The gig workers are in picture everywhere. Right? And some way it certainly helps in cost saving and so many other things as well. There are so many associated factors. In fact, that is a full-fledged topic in itself worth a discussion. So talking about the gig economy, resilience is a must in any candidate, any prospective employee. I would want him to be resilient to surroundings, to perhaps people during any negotiations, when they're discussing any processes, any particular work aspect, or maybe general during any other personal conversations as well. So resilience is an important quality. Now, how well are you able to get along with the people of different age groups and diverse backgrounds? Right? You may not meet everyone every time who would be just fit to suit your temperament. We work with people of different temperaments. I have so many candidates who reach out complaining my boss is very short tempered. I find it difficult to work with him, her. So every time there is no guarantee that you will meet up with people who would have the temperament just to suit your temperament. So be ready for that. Be ready for this bit, especially during when the gig task forces are real for any organization. So you need to develop this quality called resilience, where you can get along with people with comfort and you are able to address any issues. Right? Work ethics. Work ethics, I think we have discussed enough. The whole idea is based on ethics and integrity when we talk about chartered accountants and the related profession. Conflict management is one quality which any employer would look for. Since, as I said, the post-COVID period is going to be more about the restoring supply chains, right? Restoring the broken systems. So here we can't devote much time to other conflicts. We have to focus on the growth of the businesses, on the competitions, on restoring the processes, right? On the operational improvements. So then conflict management is something that is one quality that employers would definitely expect from the employees. So time management skills, your efficient communication, adaptability, critical thinking. What is the source? What is the benefit? All these things. Critical thinking helps one to evaluate any option better. You can learn more. You can understand better. You can grasp the entire, whatever is the discussion, whatever is the process, you can grasp it very well if you are a critical thinker. So these are some qualities which employers look for from the present generation professionals. I would certainly want to talk a little more about qualities for a successful life and career for you. Since you all are young professionals, some of you are senior students, and you're looking forward to step into the industry and certainly establish yourselves well. So I would want to wish you all good luck. But before that, there are certain qualities which you should always remember. Always remember. And these are not going to be limited to your professional space. In order to excel for a personal of perspective also, you need to consider all these qualities. See, your esteem needs would only grow as you grow in your age and profession. Your esteem needs would also grow. So these qualities will help you fulfill these esteem needs. For example, you all are part of certain social portals. You all, maybe some of you are writing, many of you would be connected with me over LinkedIn also. So some of you are blogging there, some of you are putting posts or maybe comments, you're trying to engage with people. Now, these days, content writing, etc. is an in thing, it's booming. So all of us, we are doing this for some kind of esteem needs, right? We prefer that we prefer to write because it gives you an achievement, the sense of an achievement or accomplishment. There are so many followers with you, people who are following, who are appreciating your work, your write-ups. So all these things, how you will be able to achieve this kind of a sense if you have certain qualities like assertiveness, right? Positive attitude. If your write-ups reflect positive attitude, if your write-ups reflect positivity, if you can engage well with the audience, if your articles, they have some kind of inspirational, emotional angles, certainly you will be, it will be solicited and you will be appreciated well, you'll be embraced well by the audience. So whenever you're talking to somebody, whenever you're communicating, be assertive. Right? Being competent is one quality that everybody would appreciate. Your innovative approach, new ways of doing something, right? Creativity, your confidence levels. Confidence is one thing which I think, confidence is something which actually overtakes, which surpasses all the other qualities. A confident mind can certainly bring in much more creative value and ideas. If you can stay motivated, if you are a self-motivated professional, you certainly will be able to impart motivation to others also. And that is a great, great quality. Somebody who's a self-motivated, they don't need others to tell them all the time that, okay, you can do well, you can do well. Such people are always desired by everyone and the organizations as well. So all these things, you would know better how to align your core values. If your values and vision are clear, you'll be able to know how to align it well with your organizational values and vision. So all these things will be very, very helpful to you. And these qualities will help you enjoy your achievements. If you can share with people, if you can get along with people well. See, any success is a very relative term. Right? Success is a relative term. For a student, clearing exams could be a success. For somebody who's trying to explore job opportunities or find out a suitable opportunity, landing a good job can be a success. Right? For somebody who's who's maybe undergoing a treatment for an ailment or a disease, overcoming that whole thing, that entire process, or maybe recovering from the disease can be a success. So success is subjective. It is subjective. It is very different for everybody. But certainly, you enjoy the achievements with all these qualities. If you can share with others, right? If you can motivate others, if people respect you and they appreciate you, and how you will be able to attain this equilibrium where you are able to balance your work life as well as you're doing excellent professionally by adopting these qualities. Enhancing your social, these qualities, they enhance your social acceptance and network as well. So as I told you, I'll give you a quick example. I'm not very old on LinkedIn. I joined LinkedIn some 18 months ago. And I am a professional trainer, so I train for a living. In fact, I've worked with several organizations and institutes. I was running a lot of vocational classes as well. My husband is an army officer, so I worked for government formations and departments, army formations as well. So I used to be occupied with a lot of work. And these days now, virtual reality has actually kind of gripped us also well. And with the impact of COVID, under the influence of COVID, now most of the work is done online. But I had very little room, very little window for all these online commitments. So my brother, he created a profile and he just said that, okay, I'm not pushing you into, he knew how much I have somehow never developed a liking for these virtual interactions. Non-verbal component is totally missing. I never felt it warmth. So because he said perhaps you've not been using it, and that's why you say so. So why don't you just get started? It's a very good platform, and I'll put some of your work, and I have created a profile. You just start putting a little bit of your work on the portal. So I was amused. I said, you want me to join another portal? And now what will I do here? I don't even have any connections. I don't know who I should be connecting over this portal. And what is the point being here if you're not connected with people? It's a social platform. So he just suggested me one thing. He said, just start putting a little bit of whatever you do over there at this platform. And I think, that worked in my favor. I have more than 24-25K connection. And this is when I'm being selective. I am not a lion. I don't add everybody. I prefer to add people with who I can learn or to who I can contribute as well. So I've been selective connecting with people, and it's over 24K in 1 year's time, which is, I think, a good network. So when we talk about networking, it's been going on well. And how I could achieve it was only through effective writing. It was only through making an effort to consistently add value and to bring in value, to create value. So I think that works with everybody. Your social acceptance, etc., your networking is going to be your asset. And you need to keenly work on it. You need to be focused on what you're doing. You can't be just doing anything so casually. Now you're a professional student. If you have enrolled for a professional course, it comes with a responsibility. In fact, these things, they come with a lot of numerous responsibilities. So you need to be accountable for your own actions. Whatever you are doing is going to influence, it is going to reflect your professional image. And this is just the extension of the society. All these virtual platforms, interactions are just the extension of the society. So be aware of these things. And these qualities, they will help you to understand and exploit your full potential. When you are self-aware, you can manage yourselves well. When you are situationally aware, you have all the awareness of the surroundings, you understand people, you understand psychology. This will help you to understand the things better, and you can exploit your full potential. So these are some qualities that you must possess, that you can develop, you can work on it. Any quality, people are not born with qualities, but they can certainly develop these qualities. With some practice, perseverance, they can certainly develop these qualities, right? So I think this is all from my side. Thank you all for listening patiently and for your active participation. It's SRCC-Wings of Fire. I wish you all good luck and all the best to you all. Bye-bye. Thanks.